Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Caffeine. I just wanted to do a quick little video on how to do better quality CSGO skin screenshots. It's something I just kind of learned last night by reading a couple tutorials, and I thought somebody might appreciate a video. There's probably some videos already exist, but I just want to do maybe a different way than some of the other videos have shown. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our video card control panel. I happen to have an AMD card. You may have an NVIDIA card. If you have an NVIDIA card, you'll have to discover where this setting is yourself. You'll have to discover what it's called. I'm not going to pretend to know for the NVIDIA cards what it's called. For AMD, you simply go to My Digital Flat Panel and then Properties, Digital Flat Panel. Make sure you select the correct monitor, the one that you game on. Enable GPU upscaling, enable virtual super resolution. Really quite easy. And then you'll have to restart Counter-Strike. I already had that set, so I don't have to restart, but you would normally have to then restart Counter-Strike or have Counter-Strike closed when you make that setting. And then when you come into Counter-Strike, you'll see that it lets you choose a much higher resolution than you can normally select, which will give you a higher quality image to work with in editing, which is nice. So let me show you this real quick. If we go here into Steam, we want to go to the workshop, Steam Workshop, browse workshop, just type in green screen, and this second one here, green screen wall by DARN whatever, Arabware. This one is my preference of the maps that I tried. This one has something that I like about it. So get this, go back into Counter-Strike. Oh no, I'm getting blooped while I'm making a video. Okay, in Counter-Strike, offline with bots, workshop, let's do classic. Oops, doesn't show up. Custom. There we go. Okay, so select the map. Now the first thing we're going to want to do when the map comes up is do bot quota 0. Since this map is set as a custom map, it won't let you just simply say no bots. So you have to get rid of the bots yourself. Console bot quota 0.
The stay right here is where we end this.
It's that easy. Now here is something where I probably do this a bit different than other people. Most people would probably take the screenshot in front of the green and then edit out the green. I actually prefer to take the screenshot in front of the black. The reason being that when you use a magic wand tool, it generally misses a couple pixels here and there, or because of anti-aliasing, a couple of the shaders get, a couple of the pixels get like half green, half, you know, what you want. So you get this weird green halo. Personally, I'd rather have a weird black halo. I think that looks better than a weird green halo. So I look at the black. The first thing we need to do is actually increase our resolution to whatever value that your video card will support. I would not play like this because it could damage your monitor, it could damage your video card. I would definitely refrain from playing at the higher resolution. And then I'm just going to do one command at this point, which is cl_draw HUD 0. That easy. Alright, then if I want to take an action shot and not just a sitting still, I can do host time scale, and then host time scale goes from 1.0 to, I'm not sure what the bottom is, but probably 0.001, and it's just a percentage of whatever you put in. So timescale 0.5 is 50% speed. I'm going to put in timescale 0.1, so 10% speed, close that, and then you can see if I inspect, it'll go really, really slow, and I could take a screenshot at any point in here with different weapons like the CZ. You might want to get the magazine dropping out. You can even do a couple times, you can see the shells fly out of the Glock. So it's fun to try to take a screenshot of the shells flying out. So anyways, I got, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? He's flipping it around. Alright, let him calm down here, and then I'll get a screenshot, and then we'll continue the process. So black, F12, boom, screenshot taken. Now, since we're talking about the screenshot, you do want to make sure, you know what, let me set the resolution back. I got my screenshot, so set the resolution back. Boop doop doo. Alright. One thing we do want to do is make sure we have a save uncompressed copy for the screenshots. You'll want to set that before you take the screenshot. Obviously, I already had it set. Make sure you do that. Save uncompressed copy. Alright, so now we got our screenshot. Alright, back to the desktop. We're going to open GIMP 2.8. Whoops. Alright, we're going to open GIMP. GIMP is free. GIMP can do what we need it to do. If you have Photoshop, you probably know more about Photoshop than I do, so you should be able to figure out how to do this at this point if you have Photoshop. We're going to get to the screenshot folder, which is Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO, Screenshots. It'll be your map name plus numbers of how many screenshots you've taken. So that map was weapons, green screen, wall. So here's our screenshot. And I'm going to go ahead and take the magic wand, and that's obviously selecting too much. Let's double click on that to bring up the options. That threshold is way too high. This should be like 4, maybe 5. So yeah, 4 looks pretty good. You want to look at the weapon and make sure that it's not going into or digging into the weapon at any point. The arms are important, but you know, obviously not nearly as important as the main show here. See, I think I'll do 4. So 4, and then we're going to do select, grow, 1 pixel, and then delete. And then the reason we do the select grow 1 pixel is because it gets rid of a little bit of the halo. You can still see halo sometimes. 1 second, I gotta fix this gap really quick. This is good though. It's the same thing. So if you had a bayonet which has the opening in it, you would have to do the same thing for the bayonet. There we go. Easy peasy. Whoops. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, so that looks pretty darn good. Can't really tell too many errors. What I will do though, and this is, trust me, this is faster than doing this whole process with the lasso tool, because that's what I did. That's what I used to do. If you want to fix some stuff up, you can get the 1 pixel eraser and just kind of go around and fix stuff up. These things won't really be as noticeable as you think they will though, once you're done with the background and everything. This like little tiny spot that's a little tiny off color, honestly it won't even be noticeable. Awesome. Awesome possum. Alright. So then we're just gonna save. I'm gonna do sometimes it does this by default. This time it did not. So I'm gonna do an add alpha channel so that I can delete all of the white. I'm gonna have to do the whole thing again. Oh well, that's fine. Grow 1 pixel, delete. Grow 1 pixel, delete. Now let's check that out. Well, that still looks pretty darn good. There's just this one little spot of white here. I'd probably, whoops, select all. So one little spot of white here, probably get rid of. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So now the great part is you only have to do this once. We have this, we export, boop-a-doo. I like to export it as a TGA. You can export it as whatever you want. What is this, like butterfly normal, whatever. You could use any image format you want that supports transparency. I'm just going to keep it as a TGA. Get rid of that. No compression. Alright, I can, do I want to save? Nah. Alright, so go back into the game. Alright, we are back in the game. This is the fun part here. You can hear my audio still messed up because I have the time. Alright, here's the fun part. Whatever, it doesn't really matter which map. No bots. Or you can do bot quota 0 again. You could use a surf map. I think a surf map would probably be a good choice for this, but just for demonstration I'm just gonna pick this map. And I don't need to increase my resolution again. I could if I wanted to not blur the image, but I'm gonna end up blurring the image anyways, so it actually doesn't matter. You can keep it at 1920 by 1080, or you can increase the resolution again. What's this, waterfall? That's not good. You want somewhere, for what I'm doing, for my purposes I should say, somewhere with a lot of depth is gonna look better. And then we're gonna do R, draw, view, model, 0. And then CL, draw, only, depth notices 1, draw HUD 0. Alright, I'll put those in the description. That was draw HUD 0, death notices 1, and the R draw view model 0. So now at this point we can literally just take a screenshot Alright, my computer just freaked out for a second. At this point we can just take a screenshot anywhere we want, any map, whatever, and we can just put that overlay that we already made on top of it. So, take a screenshot, boom, options, change my video back. I really don't like running my video, you know, at the increased rate for any longer than I have to. Alright, back in GIMP. Open. That was DE Resort. So, we're going to open the image from the same screenshot folder that we just had on Resort. And then we're going to open as layer our template that we already made, butterfly normal. Should be. There we go. And there you go. That's it. It's already there. Now, you could just have that, and that looks pretty nice. It's a higher resolution, but what I like to do, select the background. So select the background image you took, filters, blur, motion blur. Some people like to use the Gaussian blur or like a Van Gogh. I like to do the motion blur and then specifically zoom, because it kind of like makes it look like you're moving quickly, which I like. Based on the length here is how quick you're moving. I'll try 20. Usually I do like 40, but I'll try 20 to see what that looks like. And this part will more than likely take a little while for your system to process. I have a pretty decent system, and it still takes, you know, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. If you had a somewhat of a lower performance system, it could really take quite a bit of time. See, that is nice. That is very nice. But you know what? It's not really. I'm gonna do 40. I like 40. Alright, let's see. And you can play with all the settings. You can change the point. You can change the center of the blur. So like if you put 0, 0, the center of the blur will then be in the top left of the image, and the blur lines will kind of spiral out. You could put it down at your character. I'm not exactly sure what the coordinates would be for that, but yeah, you can change the center of the blur around. You can try the radial blur, which would be kind of swirls everywhere. You know, once you get to this point, it's really just your creativity with trying out the different filters, and you could use like the smudge tool if you want and do actual specific little blurs. Almost. You can do it, computer. You can do it. That's better. I think that looks better. Okay. So then the last thing I like to do, specifically if I'm showing off the weapon, if you're not trying to make it look like, oh, this is a legitimate screenshot, and you're trying to do maybe a trade or something like that, is actually scale up the weapon so that it's just a larger portion of the screen. Make sure our arms are still down here, and then maybe kind of center it a little bit. That looks pretty good. I could even scale it some more so it's just really ridiculously large. I'll post the Imgur link for this in the descriptions, since you're watching this through a lower quality on YouTube anyways. It's gonna look 720p to you either way. I think that looks pretty sweet. Alright, so then from here we'll just export to the desktop. Now for this one that you want to share, that you're gonna put on Imgur or Facebook or whatever, or maybe the trade subreddit, you're gonna want to save it as a PNG. So and then I always put the compression to 0. I'm honestly not sure about the quality loss based on the compression level. I'm honestly not sure. I just assume better safe than sorry. I'm sure somebody will correct me and say, that's ridiculous. You have to use compression. But so then you get something like this, which really looks pretty nice. The lighting could probably be a little bit better. It's not super bright, but could always change that a little bit. Try a different map. You can always use like Dust 2 has pretty decent lighting. You could always use like Dust 2 and then go with the lasso tool. I've actually done this a couple times rather than using the green screen map. Go with the lasso tool and just click, 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 click around everything. And it takes a couple minutes, takes 2 or 3 minutes, but it's another way to get the same effect. If anybody's interested, I would probably be willing to make a map with different lighting zones so that you could have different lighting for your knife with a black background. That's probably a decent idea. I might look into that. So anybody that's actually still watching, thanks for watching. I hope you find this information useful and make some awesome screenshots. And that is all I have.